Hello everybody and welcome back, where today we got an announcement we were expecting but not at the time that we were expecting. Usually on the hour we get an announcement for a state of play or anything from Sony, but it seems they fell asleep and they did it at past. So this would have been yesterday at the time of publishing and today for the actual state of play, but a state of play has been announced by Sony. This is happening at 11 PM BST for us in the UK, and today we're going to be talking about what titles could be there, if there's any PSVR2 stuff do we think, and the plans for watching it. So sometimes I do streams on the channel. For today's state of play later today, I will be joining Without Parole, if you don't know them, which I'd be very surprised if you don't, since they are the premier and original, PSVR YouTube channel. It's always a pleasure joining them for any sort of event or even just the normal games cast, and I will be joining Brian over there tonight if all goes well. So please do come in and tune in. For other people on other time zones, that's 3 PM PDT and 6 PM EDT. Sony says, State of Play returns tomorrow. Watch live at 3 PM PT on September 24th for news and updates on over 20 titles. So they're not really bringing down expectations by saying there'll be no first party here, so there could be for sure. This is a 30+ minute show, just like the normal State of Plays are, and we actually do have some indication about what's going to be here. So if you don't want to be spoiled at all, one, I don't know why you're here, but two, luckily there isn't too much that we know. But what we do know is that we are expecting a couple of remasters out of this state of play, one of which is Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a game that I really don't think needs a remaster. I would love to see the resources put somewhere else, but I think the reasoning for this would be to bring it in line in terms of tech with Forbidden West. So when the PS5 Pro comes out, because I'm assuming this state of play is very PS5 Pro focused because that hardware's just been unveiled, when it does come out, that PS5 Pro will have a kind of bundle of Forbidden West and Zero Dawn that will look and play the same, 4K 60, and will look fantastic. However, I think my problem with remasters like this, especially ones trying to bring them in line with other games like sequels, is that you're just going to be doing this forever. You've got to draw a line somewhere where that you kind of got to say, okay, that's it, we're done now, because then in the next console iteration we're going to have another remaster, more resources going to this same game that's just getting a bit of a facelift. And personally for me, I think Zero Dawn still looks like a fantastic game. It runs at 4K 60, I believe, on PS5 base, so I don't really see the need for this. However, that is one of the games that we think is going to be announced based on all of the rumors and leaks. The other one is actually Days Gone, a remaster for that game, which I can see more of a justification for. But again, I don't really think it's a game that looks bad, and it's a game that runs the same as Zero Dawn. It runs great on PS5 and looks great as well. If they went for more of a remake angle, maybe increasing the horde size in the game and adding a few things here and there, I could see that as being a proper justification. But I'm sure Days Gone fans would be much happier seeing a sequel to the first game on PS5 Pro than a rehash of the original. And I would be with them, but I see it from the studio side with Sony that they don't really want to put loads of money into a sequel rather than putting less money into a remaster that might sell just as well. So I can kind of see their justification. At the same time, I am a little bit disappointed. However, for PSVR2, what can we look forward to, if anything at all? Well, I think we do have something to look forward to here. At every single state of play, there usually is a focus on PSVR2 for 1 or 2 games, and being that there's 20 games here, which is more than we usually get, I would say we have something to look forward to here for sure. Now, my predictions can go one of 2 ways, one of which will be 2 brand new PSVR2 games from third-party studios. Not expecting anything first-party here, as we usually don't get anything like that for PSVR2 at State of Plays. But who knows, there could be. Some people have been floating around that maybe the Zero Dawn remaster and the Days Gone remaster could have some PSVR2 elements. I don't agree with that. I just think that's a bit too far of left field. I would love to see it, but I don't really think that's going to happen. What I could see happening though is, 2 third-party games getting announced as usual, or maybe even a deep dive into a game like Aces of Thunder to drum up some hype before it launches, or maybe a trailer for Phasmophobia focusing on the PSVR2 features, something like that. The other way that I could see this go, if this was more focused on the PS5 Pro and the games that will take advantage of it, is a deep dive into PSVR2 and how games like Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call the Mountain, and Resident Evil will take advantage of the new hardware, maybe PSSR upscaling to run at unreprojected frame rates. That would really get my attention and would show that Sony are thinking about this new console, incorporating PSVR2 into it. That's what I would hope for. They have said that some games will get a bit of a facelift with PSSR in PSVR2. We can only assume that those are the first-party Sony ones, as they will have directly a hand in that. The final thing, though, that I want to kind of include off to the side, separate from those two, is that we are due an announcement for Resident Evil 9 sometime soon. This definitely could be on the cards for tomorrow, and I think this is a bit of a pivoting point to see whether or not Resi will support PSVR2 as we go forward. The leaks for the new Resi game, even though I haven't looked at any story stuff because I obviously don't want that spoiled for me, but in terms of technical stuff, there's a shift towards more open world element for Resident Evil as we go forward from what we've seen. So this would be the only thing that would really tick me off to say that PSVR 2 won't be supported for Resident Evil 9, is if it's open world. If it's just too much for the PSVR 2 and the PS5 to handle, I could see that being an issue. We'll just have to wait and see, but I'd hope if Resi 9 is there that we'll get a PSVR 2 confirmation or a tease, just like we did with Resi 4 and Resi 8. And then further along we'll get more information about it, but definitely keep your eyes open for an announcement like that. Anyway, those are my predictions for the state of play today. As always, it's going to be a load of fun. It's going to be a little bit later here in the UK that it's actually going on though, so I might be a little bit more tired or quiet than I usually am on the streams, but I hope to see you all there. We'll be on without parole, probably half an hour before the show starts or so I'll see you there. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to our patrons and YouTube members: Luke Bentley, Phil Irving, Hazit Mirza, Ace Gamer, Hippie Pickle, Jin 007, A License to Chill, Sun WTF, Fat Controllers, The Game Cat, Andrew, Aaron Reich, Jason Parker, Lamar Hall, Jordy Banzema, Lemon64K, Outcast VR, Prophecy777, and Gundy Gundy. If you want to join the Patreon or YouTube membership, all those things are down below, and I hope to see you all in the next one.